Happy Thursday, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving here in the United States of America. Today, we have the replay from Sunday night's live call-in show. That was Sunday night, November 24th, 2024. Scotty G joins me, and we always have a great time as we open up the phone lines and take your calls. And this was a fun show because we had the announcement just a couple of days ago that the Monsters are going to take over Grand Avenue at Disney's Hollywood Studios with Monstropolis. And the Muppets are going to move over to Rock and Roller Coaster here moving forward. And there are a lot of opinions on this announcement. Of course, Mama Melrose will probably go away, Pizza Rizzo. Most importantly, Muppet Vision 3D. So we got tons of calls on this, lots of ideas, positive and negative, and just talked it out for an hour. So just sit back and hear lots of opinions on this new announcement and how things are possibly going to change as we move forward over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Don't forget, our show always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure, whether it's to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney. Our services are absolutely free to you, and you get first-class concierge-level service each and every time. Come on over. We'd love to help you out this week over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make the show possible. We could not do this without your support. You can help us out as well. Just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, November 24th, 2024. I'm your host, Mike Wallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're having a great week. Let's talk Disney for the next hour. The phone lines are open at 407-413-9395. That's 407-413-9395. And we got lots to talk about over the next hour. It's you, me, and Scotty G. And we're going to be talking some Muppets and Monsters. So 407-413-9395. Scotty G in the house, but not for long. In a few days, he's going to be headed down to Walt Disney World for Thanksgiving. What's up, Scott? How are things going?
Happy Sunday, Mike. Yeah, it's just been I didn't golf today. That was the realization to me that like winter is coming. I did not golf today. Felt like my routine was off, honestly. But to help me with that, I actually got a birthday present today. And I kind of want to start with the show, but this is random because my birthday was like 6 weeks ago or something crazy like that.
So you got a birthday present for your wife's birthday. I mean,
I know I need to work on that. Yeah. So the Be Our Guest podcast community is awesome. You know this, Mike. We made some of our best friends from this community, and it was one of my friends from here, Marlessa. And I have to show it. I know this is a audio podcast, but we're live right now, and it is the coolest thing.
Oh my God, that is the bomb.
Isn't that awesome? What I'm showing here is this sign. It's like a 3D print of one of my favorite signs at Walt Disney World is the entrance sign to Old Key West, which is my favorite resort. And it is like an exact replica, basically, of what the resort sign looks like. It's got the DVC logo on there and everything. And it's got these hooks on the back too, so I can hook them up on the wall. I have to figure out where I'm going to put it, but I think it is one of the super neat. If you know me, this is like a perfect gift for me. So I absolutely love it. So shout out to Marlessa. That was awesome.
So obviously we're doing a video podcast. You know, you can always check out the video at youtube.com/beourguestpodcast. And you can always see the video of all the shows. So check this out. But you were holding that up to the camera and it's all about perspective. At first, when you held that up, I mean, it looked life size. It looked like somebody had gone out with a couple of shovels and like dug up the entrance sign to Old Key West. I mean, it is spot on. Marlessa, well done.
Well done. And now it's got me thinking, like, I want more signs like that, right? You know, like I want to like because I love hanging art, like Disney art throughout our house. Now it's got me like all my wheels thinking like my top 5 signs at the resort. Like I wonder if I can get 3D printings of those. You know, it's probably started this expensive hobby of mine now. Is going to be trying to track all these down, but it was awesome. And thank you, Marlos. That is one of the coolest gifts I ever got because like just my love for Disney and Disney Old Key West is just awesome.
And just seeing that, having something like that hanging around your house every time you walk past it, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I need some buttermilk chicken from Olivia's, or I need to go see go down to the feature pool, or just the Palm Tree Row right there on I forget, Peninsular
Palm Tree
Boulevard
Row,
or whatever it
is. That is makes my heart so happy. And if you paid attention to my my dining counts, Mike, you know my most frequent place 27 times in my life I have been to Olivia's. 27. I've been there 4 weeks.
No lies detected and nothing wrong with that fact. I mean, that means just you're living life. You're living the good life, man. That's what that's all about. So, hey, we got to jump into the topic at hand though, because we got to open up the phone lines and take some calls because we got to get the pulse of our listeners about this. And of course, if you've been living under a rock over the past 72 hours or so, earlier this week, we found out, we had the D23 announcement that they're going to bring, Disney is going to bring Monstropolis to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Everybody's pretty excited about that, right? We saw some artist renderings of the new coaster with the doors. We had heard about this maybe a decade ago that this was possibly going to happen. And now we got details this past week of where it was going to go. It was kind of 50-50. I think most people thought it was going to go into Animation Courtyard in their hearts. That's kind of where I thought it was going to go. I thought it made more sense to go into Animation Courtyard given its current state. However, we found out a couple of days ago that it is going to go into the Grand Avenue area, and we're going to lose that part of Disney's Hollywood Studios for Monstropolis. But the Muppets are going to stay in the studios. They're just going to move over to Rock and Roller Coaster with a retheme over there. So Disney's trying to hang on to the Muppets. I'm not sold on this. I try to give Disney the benefit of the doubt, and I'm glad they're not 100% going away. But I'm not 100% sold on this. So I like to talk things out and get different perspectives. So Scott, we haven't talked about this yet because I knew we'd be talking tonight. So what say you on this topic?
Yeah, I'm not sold on it either, my friend. I just love Muppet Vision 3D. I think that's one of the coolest films. You and I joke about like oh my God, I can't even think of their names.
Oh, Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, we always joke like that's you and me up on that stage being funny. But it is just timeless. It is classic, and I just hate to see it go. So like, if it's gonna stick around in some other form, because what did the blog post said? Like we're gonna try to preserve.
Yep.
Muppet Vision 3D. Like, could it go somewhere over by Rock and Roller Coaster? Like, is that a possibility? Could they build a new theater around there?
Well, here's my thought, which I was going to get into in a little bit. Is okay. There is the building right next to Rock and Roller Coaster that has housed the Lightning McQueen show. And it's about the same size because I've gone in there for that show, and they've actually even held media events back in there too. That they could, take a lot of work, right? But they could put the Muppet show, they could put that Muppet 3D Muppet Vision in there, and then it would be adjacent to Rock and Roller Coaster. You could have a mini land for the Muppets there if you had to. Now they've announced that is going to be a villain show, probably kind of like an lead up to the Villain's Land at the Magic Kingdom in that interim, kind of like how we had like Launch Bay was kind of an interim area into Galaxy's Edge is kind of how I'm seeing it, kind of a build up to that.
Agreed.
But
they could cancel that. They could scrap that idea.
They could, because, I think that would be do we need the villain thing like in the interim? Probably not. We don't need it. But man, I just think this is I just can't imagine people at Disney don't see the passion that real fans of Disney have for a franchise like Muppets. Muppets is a big deal. I mean, it
really is.
It's like a tick off of like like Disney. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's almost like messing with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, not quite to that level, but close. Right?
Close.
Yeah, and like it just makes sense, right? And I thought about this too because I thought about the villains thing, and like I mean, Disney has scrapped ideas many times in the past, right? So they could easily scrap the villains thing and put the Muppets thing. Do you remember? Just imagine how many excited people are going to be, because you could like pitch it like, well, they had that other villains thing coming at Magic Kingdom, so those that want the villains, you can wait a little bit longer. It's fine. But that's interesting. The whole like Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster thing is kind of weird to me too, but I'm I'm buying into it. I think Aerosmith had a long run in that space, right? And I think it's okay. I feel like you just need to like, while they're under the hood, like just really fix up that attraction though, because like I feel like the sound hasn't worked really well in years. You got Guardians where the sound is like amazing and like, so use some of that technology maybe that they learned from Guardians to put in the Rock and Roller Coaster while they're doing the whole theme. I think it could be a home run for sure.
Well, it's 2 decades newer. I mean, exactly.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
exactly.
At this point, it totally is. All right, we have our first call of the night. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike and Scotty G. It's Brendan up in New Hampshire.
Hey, Brendan. Happy Thanksgiving week. Thanks for giving us a call. What's going on?
Absolutely, guys. I just barely caught you guys, and I heard the word Muppets, and I was like, oh, my God, this is devastating to me. I'm a huge Muppets nerd. I just don't understand how they would update the Muppet seats and get rid of that theater entirely unless they're going to repurpose it toward, like, laugh floor or something like that. They just put in new seats last year. It was fantastic.
And that's what I think, and that's what gave a lot of us hope, right? Why would you update something like this? Like, oh, it's going to be safe, right? They've capital investment in the theater. it doesn't make 100%. Sense.
And they updated the graphics inside the theater too. They did a little touches here and there. It was really surprising to me that they were going to do that. I can only hope that they take. So I saw an article online the other day that they're going to save the footage. I can only hope that they take that and put it over to the Lightning McQueen area when they do the Rock and Roller Coaster and put Muppets in there. Hopefully they put Muppets 3D or some form of that attraction back in there with Lightning McQueen's old spot.
Now, see, Jason in the chat here says that they've announced they're going to put a monster show in that Muppet Vision 3D theater, whether it's like a laugh floor kind of experience, maybe move that from Tomorrowland, which doesn't really fit into Tomorrowland anyway. That might be an option to move something like that over. Here's the thing aesthetically, which I know Disney can work on aesthetics and do this really well. This is something they excel at. The aesthetics of Grand Avenue, considering I was a kid of the late 70s, 80s, where you saw a lot of this kind of like Sesame Street aesthetic, that New York, like everybody sat on a stoop. And I'm a kid of the Midwest, right? I've never been to New York City. I've never been up the East Coast. But that Grand Avenue aesthetic of that outdoor building there that Muppet Vision's in with the bricks, and Pizza Rizzo and all the the fire escapes and all that stuff. It's so well done that you would have to recreate all of that to give it that that kind of gritty feel that you get when you're walking through there with the Miss Piggy fountain. I just think it's so well done. And the thing is, like somebody was asking here in the chat, it's Jason, another Jason from up in Michigan. Like, does this mean Mama Melrose will go away? Yes, with this Monstropolis, we're going to lose Mama Melrose. We're going to lose Baseline Tap House. We're going to lose all that area over there. It's not just going to be Muppet Vision 3D. It's going to be, because they're going to redo the land. I mean, Baseline Tap House is a goner too.
I mean, I don't know about how you guys feel, but I always feel like when you walk down Grand Avenue, you're back in old MGM Studios. That's like the last piece of MGM Studios that I feel like that you could possibly see. You just said it, Mike. It's the aesthetics. It's Pizza Rizzo's not the greatest food in the world, but so much hidden magic in there, in the building, in the upstairs room and stuff like that. Miss Piggy Fountain, what used to be the old Muppets gift store in the back there, Mama Melrose in the back. I mean, that little corner of the park hasn't changed in so many years. And for them to redo all that and add the roller coaster at the end of that whole part where the old, what was it called? Streets of America used to be. That's going to be just the last part of MGM to go away from that whole park, which is sad, painful, to be honest.
It hurts.
And the thing that I've been seeing too is, and this is kind of a head scratcher, right? And again, I am very pro Disney. I'm very optimistic on things, is that Universal is being very aggressive. I mean, very aggressive in what they're doing. And, it's hard to compare apples to oranges all the time, but they had a very finite amount of land to do things with, considering they've built a new park, Epic Universe. It's going to looks to be pretty awesome when it opens this summer or next summer in 2025. But, Walt Disney World, it's always been, they've always said they have the blessing of size, right? And they have a huge, it seems like a lot of land they could use down there. I mean, it seems like it, they've always said they do, but they always do replace when they add something. It's almost like they have this mindset that they cannot add over the last 10 years without taking something away. And it drives me crazy. It's like, why does it have to be addition and subtraction? Why can't we just add, for one time? It would just be nice.
I agree 100%, Mike. I mean, they have all these launching pads that they can add other land to. I mean, look at the animation courtyard. At the end of that, you have that big swath of land that connects back over to Rock and Roller Coaster that they're not using for anything. That should have been where I hoped that the Monstropolis would go to. Leave Muppets Courtyard alone, add to it. Great movie ride. Yes, I like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Sure, great ride. Put it someplace else. You've got plenty of land around Hollywood Studios to use that for. Why? And you hit the nail on the head. Why take away something every time you want to add something new? Why do you have to change it to something else? Nostalgia is a big part of Disney, and Disney's taking away all that nostalgia, I feel like, from the theme parks.
I agree. I mean, and honestly, I don't know why they don't see that, because Disney sells nostalgia. I mean, if you don't I don't see why somebody doesn't get up in the boardroom and say, hello, we sell nostalgia. That is one of the things, you can't touch it, but it is one of the biggest things that we sell, and we're just ripping it away left and right. And I mean, there's a value to it. There's a monetary value to it. And when you rip these things away, it's just long-term. It's not a good thing. I don't think so. But I appreciate it.
My
question
right would be is how many people remember the Muppets that go to Disney year after year versus how many people remember the Monsters movies year after year? That to me would be a huge thing. People from the 70s and the 80s are going to remember Muppets more than people who watched the Monsters movies in the 90s and the 2000s.
Well, they'll probably say, we're getting older, right? We're not going to be going to the parks as much. But I mean, right now, we're the folks that have the money. You know what I'm saying? We're the folks that are paying for the vacations. And if you bring them into the parks and show Kermit and Miss Piggy and market them right, kids are going to latch on to Kermit and Miss Piggy. I mean, you don't have to have the whole, all of the Muppets. You don't have to share, like the kids don't have to latch onto the Electric Mayhem band and and the Tooth Guy and all that stuff. But, sell like top 5 Gonzo and Fozzie Bear and all that stuff. I don't know.
I agree 100%.
Just they're lovable. They're kind of timeless. Kermit and Miss Piggy and all them. Fozzie.
It's
yeah, it's wholesome. And that's what Disney. Yeah. Anyway, but hey, I'm gonna get some calls in because I want to get everybody's kind of pulse on this. But I appreciate it, Brandon.
Get you 100%, guys.
Well, hey, have a very happy Thanksgiving. I'm really thankful that we have this year together. I appreciate you.
100%, guys. Have a good night.
All right, take care. Because we got 4 on
See you
the
in Florida
board.
next week.
All right, you lucky dogs. Whoa. We have 4 on the board.
Wow.
I'm
just gonna sit back and relax and look.
It's smoking. No, hey, you're on this one. By the way, Scotty G says baseline tap house is safe. I hope. It looks like it's in that area though. I mean,
I think it's safe.
I hope for your sake. I mean, it would be nice. All right, we have our next call. Who's joining us?
Hi, Mike. Hi, Scott. It's Paul from New Jersey.
Paul, what's up? You got in. We got 4 still on the line. So let's get thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. There's no password tonight. I was all.
Oh my God, there is a password. Real quick, it's going to be. I'm glad you reminded me. It is what is the best thing that is going to be on your table this Thursday? I totally forgot for Brandon.
Wait, what is the what thing?
The best thing that will be on your table when you sit down for Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday or whenever you do it.
It's easy. My wife makes it was Randy Travis's wife's sweet potatoes with like brown sugared pecans that are chopped up that go on top. It's easily that.
Okay, as long as, I mean, is Randy Travis hanging out with you? I don't know, but hey, we'll go with it. No, that sounds good.
No, she got it in a magazine once. She tried it. It's been a big hit on our table ever since.
Works for me. All right, so Munsters, Muppets, it's all, what do you got?
I think the main thing is, obviously, like you were just talking about with Brandon, the nostalgia of it. The thing I'm going to miss most about it going away is the Sam Eagle line, but mostly America.
Amen.
Like that show has so many, obviously, draws, and it's just such a nice relief to go there. Great air conditioner spot. It makes so many lists of things to do in Hollywood Studios or WDW. But the one thing I'm going to miss the most is the Sam Eagle part, obviously the whole show. What they're going to do, I don't see how you can replace it. I do like the idea of seeing some animal on the rock and roller coaster because I love the ride. So I'm anxious for that. I'm sad to lose the show. I'm hoping they're going to replace it. But catching on what you were just saying, Mike, I think about it in relationship to what Universal's doing. And our own school district here, it relates. About 15 years ago, we had a conversation because the town was growing. Why don't we just build a brand new high school and then use the old high school for a middle school and then the trickle down, and we create, we relieve our facilities problem. And they didn't do that. And now we're just robbing Peter to pay Paul to patch up one school, to fix this, to move that on. And it seems like Disney is, instead of just committing to a fifth gate, right? It's been rumored for so long, can't do it. But they could spend money everywhere else. There's new DVC going up. There's the refurbishment to the rides. There's the expansion going on Magic Kingdom, where, as you said, they just swap things. You're going to lose this, but you're going to get this. But it's not really new because it just replaces it. It would be better if they just made a new park.
See, and let me ask Scott about this. I don't mind even if they don't add a fifth gate, but if they add lands to existing parks without taking stuff out, like, for example, out at Disneyland, they added Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway to Toontown. They didn't take anything out of Toontown, but they added an e-ticket attraction to Toontown. That was a win. That's a net gain right there. That's a win. I mean, right there. That's great. I like that. Scott, I mean, would you rather have fifth gate, or would you like him to sprinkle around maybe a land or two into existing parks?
Man, I go back and forth on this a lot because I just can't visualize a fifth theme park. But I haven't studied the maps enough to know, and I'm not smart enough, I don't think, to figure that out. But I hear what you're saying, Paul, because we expansion, or we're losing things that are really valuable. Like, it makes sense. It really almost is getting to the point where it makes sense. Walt Disney World has the blessing of size, right? Well, let's use it.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, if I could, I know you have a lot of callers you want to get to. I just want to, if I could do a one's got to go from the two of you, is it okay?
No,
we have time
go
for that real quick?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Mike, I'll give them to you simultaneously, and you guys can think about it. Mike, your Cardinals fanship, your Mizzou fanship, or your Disney fanship? One's got to go. Scott, your Detroit Lions, 90 years since they were 10-1. Your Detroit Lions fanship, your Sparty fanship, or your Disney fanship? One's got to go, guys. It's a tough game.
That's a tough game.
We'll see. Right now, temporarily, it's a temporary Cardinals. They're terrible because of our manager. Okay. I'm so mad at our manager and our upper management. So right now, I'm saying Cardinals.
Fair.
It's tough to say, but I love you know what, this is going how I start this. I love my Detroit Lions. I am riding the Detroit Lion high right now. This is an amazing few years after pain and suffering my entire life with the Lions. But I bleed green, man. Like, Michigan State is my home. Sure. Like, I live 2 miles from the campus. It is like my mom graduated there, my wife graduated there, my daughter's probably gonna go there. Like, I just have more passion for that almost than anything. And Disney, I can't get rid of that because of all the friendships and the love and memories that we made there. So, oh man, it seems crazy because the Lions could be like the first Super Bowl visit ever, but I'm gonna have to get rid of the Lions.
Dude, Dan Campbell is listening to our show right now.
I better not go to any Applebee's.
No, I'm saying, dude, he's listening right now.
Man, Paul, you better not like this better not be some kind of jinx, man.
No,
you're. My
oh my gosh!
Oh, I don't mean it like that. You guys are brave to play the game. I greatly appreciate it. But those ones you give out that are Disney only are so tough. I just was thinking about it during the week, and I'm like, oh, how can I spin that on you guys just for fun?
We're not letting you call again, brother.
Yeah, I'm sweating over here. There's Lions fans in the chat. Like,
this is not cool. This is you say that in St. Louis, man. You don't get served food in places, man. Be careful.
Guys, you're the best. Get to the other callers. Have a blessed and happy Thanksgiving. Mike, early happy birthday.
Thank
Scott, you have a great trip. I'm grateful for you guys, for Pam, for Ricky, for the whole community. Take care, guys.
You too, brother. Have a good Thanksgiving.
That's very nice of you.
Bye-bye. All right, let's get to the next call.
That question had me sweating, man.
Eric's been trying to get in here. Let's get Eric in here. Eric's out in Connecticut. Eric, you're up next. Muppets, Monsters. What are we talking about?
Hi, I know.
Wait,
you want to
password.
be quick? I'll be as quick as I can.
Hey, but you got to get through the password. What's the best thing going to be on your Thanksgiving table?
I'm going to someone else's house, so I don't know what will be, but I have two traditions that I have. One is a small joke around my family is that I would eat a whole box of stovetop stuffing if I could.
Yes.
So that stovetop stuffing, and ever since I was 5, I would do that thing where I put the olives on all 5 of my fingers. I used to do it to gross out my parents. Now I do it to gross out whatever kids are there. Yes. So I would say the black olives on my fingers or the entire box of stovetop stuffing.
Hey, you can come over to our house anytime if you're not in Connecticut. All right. So what do you got with the Monsters and the Muppets? Tell us about it.
So these two coaster ideas are two things that people have really wanted for a long time. I think even since 2001, when Monsters, Inc. came out, I think it was 2001, people have been saying, boy, that would make a great coaster. Why doesn't Disney do that coaster? So I'm glad they finally got around to doing that. And conversely, the Rock and Roller Coaster retheme, it seems to be when everyone brings up, boy, they got to do something. Aerosmith is not as well known as they used to be. They're not as relevant. Everyone would go, wouldn't it be great if it was like Dr. Teeth? So these are two really, really good moves on their part. And I have to say something to Disney about these two moves. It's a little bit selfish. I am a 51-year-old man at this point. They have got to get on these before I have to take out my teeth for safety reasons on the roller coasters and put in that little pocket there. I cannot be taking out my teeth to go ride with Dr. Teeth. And if they don't make a hold on to your teeth joke during the Muppet Rock and Roller Coaster, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Okay, so, kind of along that line, Eric, though, let me ask you this, because I read another comment somebody said, and it made me think about this. Somebody is saying that they're kind of gatekeeping, Disney's going to gatekeep the Muppets in that with Muppet Vision 3D, the Muppets were accessible to everyone, right? Because it's a theater show. Everybody goes in, watches the show. It's a 3D show. You sit down. However, if the only experience you have with the Muppets is Rock and Roller Coaster, what's the accessibility level of seeing a Muppet experience? Like you just said, I mean, you have to have a height requirement, and you also have to be able to tolerate a roller coaster.
There's a height requirement, but the height requirement isn't that big. And I know people. There are people who roller coasters aren't for them, just like people who 3D experiences aren't really for them. So I'm not going to knock that. I am disappointed that Muppet Vision is probably going away, and they said to preserve it in some way. They're sticking it on Disney Plus. Let's be honest. That's where it's going. But I wonder if the show itself is as relevant to the type of humor that kids have today that it used to be. The character humor is still there. It's still a funny show, but a few layers of the jokes have been lost because it was done in a time where it was spoofing old style 3D experiences that you would have in parks where things would come flying out of the screen at you. You don't see that anymore. 3D in movies is more about depth of field. Even when they did the Coco addition to the PhilharMagic, it was more of a depth of field thing than things flying out at you. And a lot of the jokes had the second layer of satirizing that kind of 3D show. So some of that doesn't stand up as well. I still think the best idea is that once the Villains Land is complete and they take the Villains stage show out of that theater, it's a very logical place for them to put Muppet Vision or some kind of Muppet show. I think that's a really good place for it. And hopefully they'll do it. I mean, they have all the equipment. It's a cheap and easy thing for them to go. They don't have to pay a lot more cast members. They just take something they already have and stick it there. Just like they're saying that they're going to be taking, I heard somewhere, the area where the Monsters, Inc. city is in DCA, and they're rumored to be changing that to Avatar or something. They said they might take some of the things out of that, some of the less articulated characters, and put them on the door coaster, because as you're speeding by, they'll still look fine. So, you know, there's a lot going on. I'm disappointed to be losing the show. I think the pre-show of it actually is the best thing that the Muppets have done. It's just a brilliant pre-show. I like that better than the main show. But I am glad that we are at least getting two things that have been on people's radar for a long time.
You make great points. I mean, especially like the 3D experience, right? I mean, when that came out, you know, it was about the, you know, like you went to the movies because it was a 3D movie. You saw Jaws 3D, you know, because it would jump out at you.
Yeah, and the shark comes flying. Yeah. The shark comes out at you. It was made in the days where there was like Shrek 3D, and the jokes were all things coming out at you.
Yeah, exactly.
And now the movies are things, even the 3D experience at theme parks are things that are happening more in the recesses of the stage.
That's a great point.
I don't know. That's just me probably overanalyzing this a bit.
No, but I do like it. And I was gonna ask Scott about that too. Is that we have, you know, we never got to this, but I'm super excited. I mean, I'm 100% excited to have the Muppets on Rock and Roller Coaster. I think that is a great addition to Rock and Roller Coaster because, like Scott, I think Aerosmith had run its course. You know, I mean, they've retired as a band.
I think it lends itself to the Muppets. They have a large area that they could make into an outdoor queue type space that would have some Muppets. They have that mini theater in there where they can do a quick show and gags as you fly upside down and around. I think we've never done, at Disney at least, a coaster that is just basically full of jokes as you ride it. And I think that's an interesting concept.
They could really run with that, the whole theme, because think about it, because it is kind of gritty and like New York City-ish looking, like with the chain link fence and the queue. I mean, and they have the pre-show area. They could redo that to the Muppets all being it. Yeah, you're right. I mean, this could be the jam if they put some elbow grease into it. I like it. Good thoughts. Yeah. We appreciate it, Eric. Thanks.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, and enjoy the stuffing, the stovetop. And the olives.
I will enjoy way too much stuffing.
We'll see you. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving. Right. Bye-bye. All right, 407-413-9395. That's something I was going to ask you, Scott. I mean, on the positive side, Muppets going to Rock and Roller Coaster. I love this.
Yeah, I kind of hinted or mentioned that, like, I think Aerosmith is a little overdue for that. I mean, that's a long time, to like 20 years just to have that around. Like, it needs a retheme, and Muppets works for that. So I'm excited for that aspect. I'm just sad to see the show go.
Yeah, I know. 100%. You know, it's like,
and like being on Disney Plus is definitely not the same as sitting in that theater. You know,
100%.
Like,
I mean, that's like that's.
And I'm with Eric. That's probably where it's going to go. Hopefully not. I loved what someone said on the Discord about utilizing. I mean, it wouldn't theme with anything else around it really, except that Regal Eagle is in Epcot, but like using that theater at Epcot, like the old Captain EO theater, right?
Yeah, because that's because that thing is such a waste of space. Like it's just not being used.
That would be awesome. I mean, it wouldn't be themed to anything in that
exactly.
area.
I mean, but it's a 3D theater. I mean, the Honey I Shrunk.
You could like meet a Muppet in there too.
Yeah,
you know, like there's like a little like character meet and greet off to the side.
I mean, who don't want me Sweetums? All right, maybe it's Sweetums on the line. I don't know. Hey, who's joining us? Is it Sweetums? Hello.
Hey, it's Veronica and Jason.
It's Veronica and Jason and Sweetums. What's going on down in Florida? Okay, so password. What is the best thing that's going to be on your Thanksgiving table?
So Jason makes a really good butternut squash sage risotto and macaroni and cheese. So I don't know which one he's making yet, but whatever one he chooses.
I think I'm probably going to do the risotto.
Okay, the risotto it is.
I made it one time for Veronica because she complained that I don't cook enough for her. So I was like, I'm going to go all out, get a recipe, and just, go all out on it. Turned out really good. So then I made it for Thanksgiving one year, and now I get threatened that I have to make it every year. So.
And see this,
you had me at risotto. Like,
we should not have done this because we're recording the show. If you're listening on the feed, 4 days before Thanksgiving, this is all I'm thinking about for the next, 72, 96 hours. But this ties into the Muppets, right? I can see Jason like the Swedish chef back there, like, all that, making it.
Yeah, we should get him a chef hat.
Exactly. We should all be the Swedish chef this year in honor of the Muppets going away as we make Thanksgiving. Anyway, so what do you guys think? Okay, Muppets and all the monsters, what you got?
Okay, so I think we're on the opposite end of the spectrum here with everybody that's called in so far. But we're excited for Monsters, Inc. That was one of my favorites growing up. And I don't know, I watched Muppets a little bit as a kid, but I don't think I have that emotional connection to it as much as other people. So I don't know. I'm excited for the change. I like that they're incorporating it into Rock and Roller Coaster. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't do Rock and Roller Coaster, so that's whatever for me. But I'm excited for Monsters Land, Monstropolis. I'm excited for the Door Coaster. I feel like it's going to be one of those coasters that readjusts your back. So that's another great coaster on Disney property. I thought it was interesting, just like the concept art from D23. When you look at it, it looked very like ambiguous as to where it was supposed to go, and you can actually see like Spaceship Earth silhouettes in the top right. So you you made it seem like Animation Courtyard was going to be the spot, but obviously now it's Muppets Courtyard. So I thought that was interesting. It kind of sounds like Disney really had two plans for it and kind of just made the decision on Muppets Courtyard. But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for a new land, new ride. Yeah, I guess I don't have the emotional attachment to Muppets either, so I'm not going to be as torn with it going away. But I do hope they preserve Muppets Vision in some capacity, whether it's bringing it to a theater or in some fashion, just kind of keeping it around the parks.
And I was trying to interrupt you there, Jason, but and I was gonna say sorry to interrupt, but no, I'm with you too. Like this is where it's tough for me because I'm so excited for a new land, and I like the original Monsters Incorporated. That's a great film, great soundtrack, great storyline. The Monsters University was for me, but I just love the concept of Disney bringing that to real life because we know what they're great at, right? Like they brought Avatar. They brought Star Wars. They're so good at bringing these lands and these areas that we love and so immersive. And Cars Land out, and so many of them, right? So I'm super excited for that. But I just wish it would have been in a different location. But once it comes, and we're experiencing it, we're doing the door coaster, we're getting our back fixed and all that stuff. I'm gonna be absolutely loving it.
Gonna whip you around. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But
I do think that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Veronica.
I was just going to say, I do think Disney probably picked the Muppets Courtyard because it was probably a cheaper and easier thing to do rather than renovating Animation Courtyard. Just because the building's already there, the facade, they really just have to update some decorations and that kind of thing. I don't know. I just think it was probably an easier option for them to do at the end of the day.
I 100%. That's what I was going to ask. Actually, I was going to ask you guys both that question. Why do you think the final selection was Grand Avenue over Animation Courtyard? And that probably was it. Sad to say, it was probably a cost issue because they're going to be able to build basically it looks like the coaster is going to be built kind of on the parking lot right outside of the existing structures is where the coaster is going to go. And they can obviously do that a lot cleaner than where Animation Courtyard is. They probably have to demolish some stuff and a lot of infrastructure is already there. It's more of like in the heart of a active theme park, but it just feels like, I don't know, unless they have some kind of plan, which I don't think they do. Of course, I don't know, but Animation Courtyard is just like right in the heart of the studios, this really great theme park, and it's dead. It is just
junior stuff, which is good for the kids.
There's not a lot there though. I mean, it's underutilized. It's underutilized, I think.
I think my thought is I don't know if they would have like, a definite plan at this point, but I could definitely see like some sort of dark ride or something, smaller than the door coaster going in Launch Bay. And maybe that was their thought process, was we could bring something a little bit smaller that can fit, in that area, or maybe extend a little bit in that backstage area, so they don't have to like take out too many of those office buildings where the door coaster, you need a massive building for that. And it's a pretty big operation. So yeah, I think in my head, they probably have some idea of what they want to do there, but who knows how far along they are.
No, I agree. I mean, I wish they would. I'm 100% behind Disney putting in some smaller, like dark rides. They're so good at those things. One of my favorite things at DCA is that Monsters Inc. ride. That's, you go in the park to the left down by Little Mermaid. Nobody ever talks about that Monsters Inc. ride at DCA, but I love it. It's this little dark ride, but it's cute. And Disney's good at that. Is it going to move the needle on attendance? Never, but put a few of those little things, sprinkle them in. But I think Disney's at this point, and it's sad to say, the name of the game is it's all e-ticket, because you got to market everything that you build. You probably have to justify it to the accountants. And it's probably really hard to kind of get the pencil pushers to approve, we're going to put this in, but it's really not going to show like a ROI that's, 10 times what you're putting into it. It's just going to make the park better, and how do you justify better? I don't know.
Man,
yeah, I agree completely. I think Hollywood studios could definitely use more of those kind of attractions too. I know they have like the shows and stuff, which are like nice, but I feel like, I don't know, a dark ride or two would be nice in comparison to all of the rides that are so popular that always have so long, wait times and all that. So
I mean, Scott, you're about to say something, but I mean, is what I'm looking at is like, fleshing out a complete day in a theme park, right? And a complete day isn't just e-tickets all the time, like it's an e-ticket here, it's a show there, it's a counter service meal, it's a table service, it's a snack, but it's also scattering in little slow dark rides and carousels. And, it's the whole smattering of kind of what the Magic Kingdom experience is about.
Oh, you need those, or else you're just going to be exhausted. Like that's where you get to relax a little bit on your day. Because yes, it's okay to relax on vacation. But Mike, I was just going to say something. I just thought of something we're losing in all this, and it's maybe not important to many people, but it's important to me. And I mean, it hasn't been open since the pandemic, but it's that Christmas shop over in that area.
Yeah, it's a wonderful store.
Mama Melrose.
Yeah.
And there's a snowman there.
Yes. And I have 100 pictures in front of that sucker.
That has been a growth chart for Emily her entire life. Yeah. Like we always take photos of her there as like her growth. And I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be there next week, and we'll definitely be getting, hopefully not the last photo, but it might be of her by that snowman. I was just thinking about that. Dang, I just hate it when we lose stuff like that. Bummer.
Yeah.
But I can't believe they never reopened that shop though. Side note, this is the pandemic. Like, and that other store. Like they had that other great, like where the Muppets shop was. Man, I love those things.
Yes, I know. Exactly right. It was a great, like, I know you're 100% right. Like that was a great shop. And we used to get our picture by that because we'd always go over the summer, right? Because this was back when Pam and I were teachers, and it was just, novelty that we're in Florida in July.
Yes.
And so we'd always get our picture next to this thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. That in Disney Springs, next to the Christmas shop. We'd say how many days till Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But you know what? You lose something, you're going to gain something great. So, I mean, I'm just Mr. Positive here, but I am excited to see what they'll do with it. Just wish we could somehow preserve that film. I know they said the word preserve, but can we preserve it in a 3D theater still so we can actually experience it, not like on our screens from our living rooms?
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
We're all just kind of like,
theater, even if it's over in like
all four of us are just like,
where the Pixar shorts are,
Yeah, the short film festival could work, right?
It could.
But then I would argue like, well, if you're redoing something there, can we bring back Captain EO?
Yes.
You know?
Okay, now we're really talking. Let's go. Let's go all in.
Yeah.
Oh my
Or just do rotate it, right?
I mean, come on. Now
bring
we're
back Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Yes. Now we're making way too much sense. We got to be careful. We're making way too much.
No, well, it was said on the podcast. So as per podcast tradition, it's going to come true.
Yeah, we have to wield that power carefully. It has to happen on a Monday show before Wednesday. That means by Wednesday, this stuff will all be happening. So I doubt it. But yeah.
Harmonious is coming back.
I wish.
Illuminations. Let's go. But no, but you know, and like Scott said, I mean, we're gonna get cool stuff. I mean, Rock and Roller Coaster, other than but Scott's right. I hope they go all the way because that thing is really rough. I mean, it's an old. I mean, I hate to say it, it's old. I mean, that thing's been around a long time.
They just did a refurbishment on it too.
Yeah, it was
you
down
know
for
what
like
I mean?
a
It's
year.
like, man, was that like wasted effort, or were they setting it up
again?
Like,
we forget about this. Like Brandon said, like they did just put new chairs and like they redid that theater and a whole new system. So maybe they are putting a new show in there. It's just not going to be Muppets.
Yeah, because Jason, didn't you say it might be like
I have a prediction
like a late night
on that
TV
show.
thing? Yeah. Go ahead.
I have a prediction on that show. So in the concept art on the Muppets Vision Theater, the marquee says late screams. So in my mind, I think it's going to be like a show that is like a late night talk show or like late night with, you know, whoever, Jimmy Fallon, whoever. I think it's going to be something like that, but obviously, you know, monsters themed. Maybe Mike Wazowski is the host. No idea. I think it's going to be something like that.
So maybe like a kind of a like 2.0 on Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, but with kind of a late night talk show.
Yeah, like plus side, and it's, you know, sort of one of the, you know, late night talk show kind of theme.
That'd be fun. That'd be cool. See, I'd like that. That'd be my jam.
Maybe they put like a Turtle Talk with Crush twist to it a little bit too, where like someone comes on stage and gets interviewed or something. Like a guest.
Yeah, like some like dad.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be fun to see something interactive like
that.
Well, I was gonna say like old Hollywood studios, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or even like the American Idol experience where there's like live actors involved and stuff.
Yes.
So that would be fun to see.
Or like Monster Soundstage, where you used to get up there and like, you know, like do the Foley art and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, now we're going way deep because that would be totally awesome. But I mean, come on. I mean, let's take it back. Let's go. Oh man, Disney, just give us an hour. We could solve so many. I mean, people would be so happy. It wouldn't be that
Agreed.
hard. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, I'm so jealous because you guys are all hanging out this week coming up, and I'm lucky because I'll be here with my family, and you know, family's best. But you guys will be tooting around in golf carts down there in Florida while I'm freezing in the 30s here in Missouri. It's gonna be cold, so I just hope
it's
you
gonna
guys
be
have
glorious.
I'll be watching on social media and getting all the updates via text.
Yes, we'll send pictures. We're excited.
We'll have to FaceTime during the cake bake shop and get our live reaction to the
please
expensive cake.
Absolutely. Yep.
Please do.
Yeah, so be ready on call, Mike, on Monday night. we'll be ready to chat cake bake shop.
As long as it's not during the podcast recording. You know we record, but after that.
Yep, after that. Yep.
We will.
After your Taco Bell. We'll have the cake bake shop.
you know my schedules are rigid. They do not change. All right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the call. It was great to hear from both of you.
Yeah, and I won't see you. So happy Thanksgiving to you both. I'm glad that we became friends this year.
Yes, us
so
too.
are we.
Thankful for you guys in the podcast.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, guys.
All right, you guys take care. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
All right,
see you
bye.
next week.
All right, bye-bye. All right, 407-413-9395. What?
It's fun to say, like, when you're within that week of your trip, I just want to say, like, I'll be doing blank next week, you know? Like, isn't that great? Like, I will be at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at this time next week.
God, man.
I love saying that.
This time, so next Sunday night, you'll be at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Very Merry, yep. Mm-hmm. And we just bought some accessories for our outfits today.
Are you wearing, like, matching outfits? You wearing?
We're not really matching. We've done the pajamas a couple times. I know you always make fun of me for it.
Is it the PJs?
Because I don't ever, like, my pajamas in real life are golf shorts. Like, I don't wear pajamas, but the only times I really worn pajamas is to the Christmas party.
I was gonna say, 'cause I don't wear pajamas either. I mean, we're
not wearing
TMI.
pajamas.
Yeah.
We kind of have matching colors. The girls are wearing exactly a matching shirt. My color kind of matches them, and then we're gonna have some headwear that is the same.
Nice. I mean, my pajamas are always like what I wear for my run the next morning. So I'm very practical. So I can roll out of bed and just get on the treadmill. Like, super simple. Like, I make it easy. That's when you run the treadmill, it's easy because then you just right downstairs.
Yep. And Brendan, he's gonna be at the Animal Kingdom Lodge this time next week too. Oh, man,
I'll be at Animal Kingdom Lodge in
less than 3 weeks.
16 days. 15 days. Oh,
look at that.
Can't wait, man.
That's awesome.
Yes. And on the treasure in 16 days, 17 days. All right. So 407-413-9395. There's one other thing I want to ask you about on today's show before we get out of here, because we have about 10 minutes left to get your calls in, actually 8. Disney announced that Lightning Lane Premier Pass, which, by the way, for this week that you're going to be down there, is sold out. I mean, sold out for
Makes
like
me
Magic
nervous.
Kingdom, Hollywood Studios. That means there's a lot of people with a lot of money that can be there. No, I mean, who knows? The thing is, who knows how many they have? They don't tell you. It could be 100 of them. It could be 10,000. I don't know. There's not that
many.
Do
you think I'm one of the people that contributed?
Yeah, no, exactly. Did you buy it?
Do you think so? Do you think I did?
You didn't buy it. Did you? Maybe you did. I don't know. I'll know if you're like going like crazy this week.
I did not. I did do the I don't even know the names of these things anymore, which is sad. Like I did do the one where you can pre-purchase 3 of them, like the old fast pass system.
Multi-pass. Lightning Lane multi-pass. Yes.
I did do that 3 days. I'm doing a Studios day and I'm doing 2 Magic Kingdom days of that.
Cool. No, I would because
it was pricey. Like I was stunned.
But I would have done the same thing because
I'm like,
dude,
I can't believe I'm paying for this. But
it's the busy time of the year, though.
The busiest time. I haven't been in like 7 months. I hope to renew an annual or upgrade to an annual pass on this trip because I feel naked not having been an annual pass holder right now.
I don't have any
tickets.
Really
weird.
I have 0 tickets for a marathon weekend right now.
It feels weird not being a pass holder.
Luckily, though, I have enough Disney Visa rewards points to cover an annual pass.
There you go.
That's what I'm going to probably end up doing. All right, we have another call.
I thought I had to do that though because of how busy it's going to be. So
yeah, I would have totally done that over Thanksgiving, just because, dude, why be down there and just wait and not get to ride much? It was, but also
like to just hang out in the parks too, though. That's kind of my jam too. Just it's my park, so I just like to walk around, pick up trash, say hi to people. That's what I do.
Such an idiot. Pick up trash. What are you like?
I do. I like to have my park.
I know you do, but the way you said that, like you're going down there to be like,
I'm just there for
like
work.
you're down there on the chain gang or something. Like I mean, give you an orange jumpsuit.
I don't often. I never have done this in my life, but I should ask security or a manager when I walk in, like, can I get a grabber for the day so I can help you guys?
Exactly. You should walk in with a grabber. Oh my God. We have a call on the line. I'm so sorry because Scott got me messed up. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey guys, it's Brandon in New Hampshire again. I just had to comment on what you guys just mentioned about the passes.
What?
So for the week, we're coming up next week. I bought the multi-pass and single pass for every day of our trip for the entire week for my wife, Pam, and I. It cost me $350 for the week to get every ride we wanted in the park. So 4 rides per day, $350 for the week. I can't tell you that's a bad investment. I think that's a fantastic investment for people that come back over and over again.
So were you tempted with the Premier Pass?
No, not at all. There's so many rides involved with the Premier Pass. I looked it up. It would have cost $3,650 for the week if I did that. It costs us $350 for the week for both of us to do at least 4 rides per day, the rides we want to do, and we can sprinkle in the other rides, like Carousel of Progress, People Mover, and stuff like that as well.
And here's the thing. I think the Premier Pass is not
easier
for
when you're
us.
doing it for 2 people too.
Yeah, 2 people. Exactly. The 100, it totally does not scale. Exactly. It doesn't at all when you have families. But here's the thing I want to get into, all 3 of us, like with Scott here too. So I just said, we're seeing, this is a few days before Thanksgiving happens here in that weekend, is that Lightning Lane Premier Pass has sold out for Magic Kingdom, for the studios, and I'm sure it'll continue to sell out as we get closer to the holiday. But then late last week, Disney announced that, because this was something that was just a perk of deluxe guests. They're the only ones that could buy Premier Pass. But late last week, they announced that guests at any on-site Disney resort can now buy Lightning Lane Premier Pass and select other resorts like Swan and Dolphin and Swan Reserve and Shades of Green. And so this thing appears to be selling, at least during the holiday, but I'm guessing it's soft other than this holiday season. I mean, Scott, what do you think? I mean, is it just they weren't selling enough or what?
I think it was a trial period too, right? It was just a test. So I think maybe they
Like a beta test,
worked on some kinks and things like that. And they're like, all right, well, now it's the holidays and we know we can make a lot of money if we offer this up beyond deluxe, because I mean, if you're going to Walt Disney World, you're staying on site, like it's an investment, it's an expensive vacation. So it's not just the deluxe people staying at deluxe are spending money. Like some people might be saving some money to stay at moderate, but they might have some extra to splurge on other things, and maybe that's what they're splurging on. So I think that was just a test, and now they're like, all right, it's Thanksgiving, let's get the most out of it, and it's working. As you said, there's days are sold out now.
Yeah. I mean, Brandon, do you think it was
why wouldn't they offer that to all stars or anybody that's staying on the property? They're going to get their money back whether you're staying at a premier or a value. I mean, to me, that's a lost opportunity if they didn't offer that to everybody.
And to be honest, I mean, here's the thing. And I think people might not realize this, but I think the market is there for people that are staying at value resorts and moderate resorts. I think that a lot of people on the surface might think people that stay at values and people that stay at moderates are not going to be interested in the Premier Pass. This is definitely something just for people staying in deluxes. I say no. The people that stay at values and moderates a lot of times are folks that are going to, in their mind's eye, they're going down for like a once in a lifetime trip, and they're going to stay at a moderate or a value just because they're on site. And this is that's a big deal for them, but they would splurge maybe on something like this one day to have just a wild time. I think it's smart.
Oh, I agree 100%. For me, value profit. For the money. I mean, if I was going to go down there for a trip with 4 people, like two adults, 2 kids, I'd rather stay someplace where I'm just going to put my head on a pillow at nighttime and take advantage of the parks all day long. To me, that makes 100% more sense versus somebody that has extra money, to be able to stay at the luxury resorts or something like that and say that maybe this isn't our goal is to ride every ride. But somebody coming from a one-time trip or coming from out of the country, 100%, I'll stay at All-Star Movies for $125, $150 per night and spend the money on getting on every freaking ride we want to get on. I think that's a missed point on Disney's property.
Yeah, and it's totally not geared towards us because, like Scott said, we're totally content, a lot of us, just going into the park and having a Mickey bar and, doing Carousel Progress, sitting on the People Mover. And if we see a short line for an e-ticket attraction, great, we'll do it. We'll wait 20 minutes to do Big Thunder or whatever. But if not, we're cool. Like, we're good just going to see the Tiki Room or, getting on Pirates when it drops at 15 minutes. That's a good day for me. So I don't need to spend the money, but it's a different segment of the park theme park population they're gearing towards.
100%. I mean, again, if you're somebody that goes back time and time again, it's probably not for you. But I don't fault people for wanting to buy this Premier Pass thing. It's
no, I don't either.
Universal's done it for years. It makes sense for some people. Again, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Pretty simple.
Yep, 100%. Hopefully, it won't. You probably never even notice. I agree. All right, Brandon, we got to roll. We're up against top of the clock, top of the hour.
Absolutely, guys. Have a good night.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving again.
See you next week.
Again. All right. Well, man, what a show, Scott.
2 people tonight. I got this, or 3 people. You count Veronica and Jason. So yeah.
You're killing me. I wish I got to see you. Oh, and by the way,
I wish I could see you too, but you'll be on the treasure soon. So
I know, dude. I can't wait for that ship. Did you see the Haunted Mansion bar has a secret menu? You get like an iPad and you got to rotate it, and then you got to like solve a puzzle to get to the secret menu.
Oh,
I accidentally came across that. I'm trying not to look at spoilers.
Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing,
dude. I know. Pam got to go on it already. I mean, she didn't get to do like everything, but she got to see it when it was in New York City and go like walk through it. Now she gets to
Did
be
it
on the
go
cruise.
anywhere? Or did it just stay like docked?
Well, when she was on it, it was docked. Of
Well,
course,
okay.
it left like the next day, but yeah, she got to be on it while it was docked. But she gets to go on the cruise 3 days before I get to go on it. So she'll be on it.
Man.
She gets off, and then I get on with
Dude,
Ben Lapham.
you guys are gonna have overload of content. That's great.
Yep, and I get home on a Sunday. I fly home on Sunday, so then we're going to do the show on Monday, and so we'll have plenty to talk about. Because we'll have 6 days worth of treasure, like hot takes, because we won't be on the ship at the same time. So we'll have like two different, totally
perspectives.
Yeah, perspectives, because she'll be doing her thing and I'll be doing my thing. So we'll see. Like,
that's so awesome.
Yep. It'll be fun. I can't wait. So, real quick before we get out of here, because you'll be at Walt Disney World when this releases on Thursday. This comes out on Thanksgiving Day. So right now, before the trip, what are you looking forward to the absolute most on this particular trip? Because you've been so many times, but every trip is special.
Yeah.
What's the thing you look forward to the most?
I mean, the obvious one for me is to stay at Fort Wilderness, because we have not stayed at that resort. So it's the only one that we have not stayed at. So excited to live that golf cart life, like we got decorations, and it's just going to be fun just hanging out at the fort. Like, I'm not a camper, that is not my scene.
Are you
a
glamper? You may be a glamper though.
Maybe I am. Like, no, but seriously, I'm excited to just hang out there and ride around the cart, see all the campsites, and just spend time with my two favorite people, because we've been working hard on college essays and our jobs and all that. So we get to unwind a little bit, celebrate Liz's birthday, see some friends. Man, that's what life is all about. And I can't wait. And I can't wait to share it with all of you when I come back.
I can't wait. We've got plenty of content getting us through December. So we are excited that you're here with us. We're going to have a lot of cruise talk. We're going to have a lot of camping talk over at the fort. We're going to have lots to talk about. So we're going to have lots of running talk, because we'll have marathon weekend coming up here at the beginning of January. So just hang with us as we move into 2025. It's going to be a big year, lots of changes and lots of fun. And we appreciate you being here. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody here in the States. And we're going to jump out of here because we're at the top of the hour. But don't forget, we'll be back again next Sunday night. Scott won't be with us because he'll be down at Walt Disney World, but I'll be here. And you'll be the co-host. So join us at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We do the show every Sunday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Again, at Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Pick your place, and we'll be here, and hope you will be too. Our shows are always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We are standing by all the time to help you plan an amazing Disney vacation, and the best part, no cost to you. So we'd love to help you out this week. So come on by, themagicforless.com. Just mention the show, and I'll take great care of you. I promise you that. So we'd love to help you out this week. Come on over again, themagicforless.com. As you do that shopping this holiday season, bookmark our link. It supports us every time you buy anything online, whether it's a teddy bear or an iPhone case, whatever it is. We'd really appreciate that. Click. Again, supports us at beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. That helps us out so very much, $5 a month. And for that, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you at patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Where can you find us on the socials? I'm at Be Our Guest Mike, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. So come on over and see me. Scott's at Epscott, EPSCOT. But you got to find him over on YouTube at Must See Adventures. And I know he's been working hard on the latest video today. Scott, what's happening over there?
We are in Spain. Spend a day in Bilbao. Just touring the city, no excursion. So we just toured on our own. And then we have a nice specialty dining meal at Jamie's. And the highlight of the episode, Mike, is the thing you've been probably waiting to see the most. It's a little game show that takes place in the Royal Theater. Yes. I won't give any spoilers, but you are not going to want to miss that. And it should be out by the time this airs on the feed.
Yes. So maybe it'd be something good to check out, like while everybody's over Thanksgiving. Well, before that, but I mean, if you don't catch it by then over, here on the replay, Thanksgiving break. I mean,
I love it.
That's a good thing about YouTube. It's there when you're ready. Right.
It's always there
when
you're
ready.
Like
a good podcast.
I have a whole playlist of this cruise vlog. Exactly. This is why I wonder, man, Scott's been on this ship forever. It feels like, I'm waiting for all these episodes because I have a full-time job, so this is just like a fun little hobby. But the beauty of it is you can just go back and just watch. I have a whole playlist. You can just go back and watch them all as if they're happening quickly. And that's the best way. Actually, the best way is to watch them when they're released. And then if you want to go back and watch them again, you can do that too.
I mean, just like a good podcast, we encourage you to play them over and over and over. Absolutely. And over, just on
I love listening to old podcasts. I still learn things, or I just it's just such a high entertainment value for me. Like I just like crack up listening to something that you and Pam said or Ricky like 3 years ago. It just makes me laugh.
Because like, Facebook memories come back up like 11 years ago. You had this memory pop up, it'd be like I'm promoting the podcast, like episode 528 about, changes to FastPass or something. And so I'll hit play and I'm like, my voice sounds really squeaky because it was an old microphone or something. And then you hear like Magic Bands are new. They're coming out. It's like, oh,
see, what? That's so great though. Like, what was our initial thoughts on Magic Bands?
Exactly.
That could be a fun little thing you do when you close an episode. Like, hey, make sure you download, listen, subscribe, and all that. But if you want a funny thing too, like also listen to episode 523 where we talk about.
I might have to share some
our
of those old
LaSalle
shows.
dinner review.
Yeah, exactly. Back when Magic Bands weren't a thing, they're bracelets. We called them bracelets. Bracelets.
Oh my gosh.
Who knows?
That's
but yeah.
So funny.
So anyway. Check out Must See Adventures. And also do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. You can see all the fun stuff. You can see that awesome Old Key West memento that Scott's holding up one more time that I'm so jealous of. I mean, when he holds it up to the camera, I swear it looks full size. Like he just
my arms hurt right now.
He shoveled it right out of the entrance to the resort, man.
That was heavy.
Like
this is awesome.
Orange County sheriff is on his trail up to Michigan ASAP. All right, so we'll be back this week. Scott's gonna join us this week to record the show, so he'll be with us, right? You're good because
maybe
Pam's not here, so we need you and Ricky. So there you go.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna have shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as always. Talking Disney, lots to talk about. We'll be here. Hope you will be too. So hang with us. And for everybody here on Thursday, have a great Turkey Day. Enjoy all the stuffing, all the turkey, and all the sides, and a piece of pie too, and all the football. This is the greatest holiday, I just gotta say, because there's no presents. You don't have to worry about all that pressure of like buying presents and giving presents. You just get to eat and watch football. My God, bless America. And like, you don't even have to do the dishes.
I know you don't do this as much too, but like I love this week for college basketball too, because you have all those like tournaments happening, like the Maui Classic. So Michigan State's playing in that, One year I'm going to go to that. I would love to go to the Maui Classic. But you got all these like small tournaments happening. So you sign off of work and then games are already playing, like, and then it leads up to all the football game. It's just a glorious week. I just love it.
The only negative about the basketball tournaments, when your daughter works in college basketball, she can't come home for Thanksgiving.
So she can't come home. Yeah.
She's coming home for Christmas.
That's the thing about sports in general, right?
Exactly.
Like, they entertain us family people, like you got the NBA games, they do all their games on Christmas Day. You got the NFL games on Thanksgiving. Like I feel bad for like, it's just not the players and the coaches, right? It's like the people that are working the networks and all that. There's working the stadiums.
Yeah,
like
I never see my dad because my dad's usually typically working for the Rams. Yeah. So
I'm thankful for all those people. I'm thankful for everybody in the world, but like, we got to give our thanks to those people that are giving us that entertainment so we can watch while we ignore our family members that we don't care for.
Right now, I know my dad's not going to call because the Rams are on my TV right now as my dad does the radio broadcast as we're on live here too. So you got two Robins on the air at one time. So there you go. So, it's totally true. Yeah. I had to buy Paige a plane ticket so that she could, because she doesn't have time to drive home for Christmas because they still have tournaments around that time too. But I'm like, you know what? Here's a plane ticket. Get on a plane, fly home, fly back. At least you can come home for like Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, the day after, and then go home. But yeah, that's what it's all about. And you're right, though. The holidays are awesome. So we're going to get out of here. You don't want to hear about all that, but we're thankful for you guys being here. Enjoy the family time. Enjoy the downtime. And we're going to be here. We're going to have a great rest of the year. So for Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great and happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe, stay healthy, and gobble, gobble.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.